What's up, boss chicks? It's time to start those Christian kingdom businesses.
Welcome to the show, let's get on the grind. Your host Shantae is gonna elevate your mind. Unlocking your gifts, yeah, God's got a plan. Real, raw, uplifting, we taking a stand. You ready, sis? Let's rise and climb. It's CEO, boss chick mentality time.
Hello, boss chicks and trendsetters. Welcome back to the CEO Boss Chick Show, where if CEO boss chick mentality intimidates you, keep it moving. I am your host, Shantae Wissenot, and today we are talking about anger. Anger is something that can impact your business greatly, and I don't care if you have the greatest business idea. I don't care if you have the best investment idea. You can be the best at what you do, whether it is a product or a service. If your anger easily controls you, or if you're easily controlled by anger, if you're easily controlled by your emotions, you are constantly going to sabotage yourself. You probably don't talk to your customers correctly the way that you're supposed to. Soon as a customer gets you wrong, that is it. The gloves are off, and before you know it, you ruined a chance at having something great for your business. Because the truth is, every customer, every client is not going to be polite. Yes, they're going to be what we call nowadays Karens that come into your business. And that doesn't mean that you let people walk all over you. It doesn't mean that you still show yourself as a leader and you can still be stern and put your foot down. But there's a way that you handle a situation without completely letting your anger take over you. And if you do not know how to do that, you are going to sabotage yourself and your business. So that is what we are going to talk about today. All right, so let's start with saying this. Entrepreneurship is filled with pressure. For those of you that are new to entrepreneurship, or you've had your foot in the game for a while, dibbling dabbling, but nothing isn't working, or you're thinking about coming into entrepreneurship, let me tell you, for somebody that's been doing this since I was 13 years old, it is filled with pressure all the time. The thing is that when it comes to entrepreneurship, and because it is filled with a lot of stress and pressure, if you are easily controlled by your emotions, in this episode we're talking about anger, you are going to make a lot of rash decisions that is going to affect your company greatly. This is why we need to get a handle on our emotions. And I know it's easier said than done for a lot of people, but if you do not get control of that thing, people are going to end up controlling you. Your clients, the people that you work with, the people who are near you, they're going to get control of you. And let me tell you something. It's not just clients and customers. There are people who you will be doing business deals with that you are going to want to go up one side and down the other. But you cannot, because that business deal is that important and beneficial for both parties. Once again, that does not mean you let people walk all over you. You can get people straight really quick without having to go off. But you have to know how to do it. I have been in situations. I have been in business interviews, okay? Talking with people, talking about collaborations. And when I tell you that some people have talked to me like I was 2 years old, especially because of my age as a teenager, the way some people would talk to me, I'd have to go, ooh, okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You have to really calm yourself down, because they're like, for my point of view, they were like, oh, look at the little baby, and I was like, no, I'm not a little baby. I am a businesswoman. Let's get something straight. You don't talk to me like this. And I know people who, if they would have been in the interviews I was in, If they would have had the conversations I had, they would have ruined everything. And by the time that you go off, people are no longer looking at what the person said. And I could look at the situation from A to Z and see that the person you were working with was completely wrong. I can see that your client or your customer was completely wrong, but you did not need to use a cannon to kill a fly. Where you should have just gotten a fly swatter and just smacked it, you used a cannon and you caused a big problem that was completely unnecessary because you did not know how to control yourself. We have to learn how to control ourselves. When you're on live TV and people ask you crazy questions, do you know how to get them straight without looking crazy or making yourself look like you're uneducated and making yourself look like that you were unprofessional? Do you know how to do that? Because let me tell you something, and I'm saying this with a heart of love. From our perspective, when I see people who easily can go off, they can go from 0 to 100 really quick, or they may not go from 0 to 100, but they can get snappy really quick. They can get rude really quick. You are easily controlled. What do I mean? I know how to easily control you. I know exactly what to say and how to say it to make your buttons pop. And this is a tactic that a lot of people use, okay? Don't forget, you have competition out there. There are people out there watching you. There are people that are studying your movements. And when you go into business, if people see that you get easily upset about a certain subject, if they know that if they push hard enough that you're going to go off, that you're going to do this, that you're going to make a crazy Facebook post, they're going to keep doing it. And you make yourself look bad to any potential investors. You make yourself look bad to any potential clients or customers. We have to be very careful of how we present ourselves. Again, when I look at somebody like that, the first thing that pops in my mind is, wow, I can easily control her. I know exactly, think about it, I know exactly what to say to make you make yourself look like a fool. And that's just being truthful. I know exactly what to comment under your post to make you go off and to make you look unprofessional and immature. And 90% of the time, it works like clockwork. You never want somebody to view you that way because you're thinking you're being defensive and you're being big and bad and you're telling the people off. But on the side of people with leadership mindsets, on the side of people that, don't operate that way, you don't look so good. You're not putting yourself in the best light. I'm not interested in your company anymore because you have the mental stability of a 5-year-old, and I'm just being honest. I kind of want to stay away from that because you don't know how to handle yourself. You don't know how to control yourself. And if you can't control your emotions, if you don't have self-control over how you respond, what in the world makes me think you want me to trust you enough to invest my time and hard-earned money into your business? It's so not going to happen. You don't want people to view you that way. And in this conversation, this isn't just going off, fighting people. Hopefully, grown women, we are past that. But for those that aren't, this isn't just about fighting people. We can meet around the corner, all of this, trivial stuff, even down to Facebook post. Please be careful of what you post on Facebook. People are looking, people are watching, they're seeing what you're posting, and don't forget, you are supposed to be your brand's biggest ambassador. What are you showing people about yourself and of your brand? What are you showing yourself as an aspiring author? What are you showing of yourself as an aspiring speaker? that you stay in drama all the time, that there's always somebody that you're in a fight with. There's always somebody that's getting you wrong and the whole world is against you. You're always posting screenshots. Something is wrong with that. And if you really do have that many haters in your life, sweetheart, it is your job to clean camp and stop posting everything, every fight, every drama-filled situation on social media. Because from our eyes, okay, the people that you're asking mentorship from, the people that you're asking investments from, you're coming to us saying, oh, look, here's my product. Can you do this? Can you look at this? Can you give me a promo and all of that? And the only thing we're looking at, only thing investors are looking at is, okay, I say something wrong, I may make one innocent mistake, I'm going to be all over Facebook. And that is really how some of you guys act. I've seen people when it comes to just simple misunderstandings. There have been simple misunderstandings. And they didn't call nobody. They didn't text. They didn't email. They went straight to screenshotting and posting on Facebook. And then after arguing back and forth, they finally saw that they misunderstood the situation, or they got into their emotions, and now a couple of hours later they see that they really went from 0 to 100 really quick, and it didn't need all of that. But then now it's too late. The damage is already done. Not only with the person, but the damage is already done with all of us on Facebook who was watching your brand, because you look extremely immature, and I am not sewing into that. The fact that you skipped email, nope, you skipped phone call, you skipped all of that, and you went straight to just posting stuff on Facebook, going off, laying people out. I don't trust you, because again, you do not have a high enough level of emotional intelligence for your big age, sweetie. And we need to learn how to get a control over this, because it spills over into your business. I cannot tell you how many times I've seen girls who have great products, services, they're trying to sell their beauty products or what have you, and you ask a simple question, and because they read the tone wrong, they have went off. They on TikTok, they replied with the video going off, and then it's not funny but kind of funny. You'll see comments of people saying, you girl, you completely misread what she said. That's not what she was saying. She was saying this. Why did you go off like that? He was just asking a question. That is not what he was saying. What are you talking about? Now you look stupid. And then they had to delete the video, and by then hundreds of people have already seen the video they posted in the midst of their pride and their anger. Evaluate stuff properly before you respond. If you are hot, like firing mad at the moment, and if you have the time to, take out a few minutes or however long you need before you reply to that customer or that client's email, text, or what have you, so you do not mess up your business. If you are in an in-person interview, if you are talking to a potential client in real time and there is no pause, quickly learn how to get a hold of your emotions and learn how to put people in their place without acting like you don't have any home training. Please. Because even when you are right, the way you respond always matters. And even though it's unfair, everyone is always going to look at your response to the situation. And when you said you wanted to start a business, this is what you signed up for. You signed up to be a leader. You signed up to be in front of people's eyes, sweetheart. And so since this is what you want, we have to learn how to walk in what we said we wanted accordingly. Another thing your anger will do, it will cause you to burn bridges. very quickly, okay? Because of your anger, the way that you lash out on social media, the way that you lash out at people, you push people away very quickly, okay? And this is something that you need to be aware of, because when you're building a business, in order to make money, you need clientele, you need customers, you need investors. And if your attitude is constantly pushing people away from you, we need to fix something. And I'm not going to say her name, but there was this girl that went viral for her business product, okay? And it was a very unique product, okay? And some people tried it, said it tasted great, some people didn't. All right, but over time, even though people were initially attracted to it because of the color of the product, her attitude, the way she responded in interviews, how defensive she was when responding to comments, the way she refused to acknowledge her customers' concerns, the way she made it seem like the whole entire world was against her and every single customer that ever tried her product was apparently lying through their teeth. And I tried the product too, and no, they were not lying. It was not good, okay? And she made it seem like her anger and her pride made it seem like the entire world was against her, when in reality, if early on she would have pushed past her anger and her embarrassment, her pride and disappointment, she would have seen what we were talking about, and she could have saved her business. And now she is nowhere near where she could have been. Views have gone down. Sales have dropped. Her product has left stores. All because she could not control her attitude. Control your attitude. You are going to push away customers. You're going to push away investments with people. I tell people all the time, I don't care if you make the best burgers in town. I don't care if your burgers are so good that I want to eat one every single hour of every single day. No one in this town can top your burgers. If you treat me like trash, if you treat me as less than, as if I am not the one putting money in your bank account, as if my customers, as if my money is not keeping your lights on, you will not see me come back. And I practice that. I don't care if there is not another fast food place in miles and everything is shut down besides that place around the corner. There is a fast food place near my house that I will not go to. If somebody else wants to go there and spend their money over there, they can go right on ahead, but don't ask me to spend my money, because they've messed up. Their management is horrible and they've messed up with me way too many times. And other people have complained about their horrible treatment of customers, but because it's the closest fast food in the area, one of them, they still get customers. I said I'd rather walk as far as I need to get food from somewhere else before I give money to somebody who's going to treat me like a dog. And that's the same thing with you, sweetheart. Some of you are brilliant. You have great ideas. You have so many great things locked up inside of you for entrepreneurship that God wants to bring through you in this season. But you're going to push away every great thing God has for you if you do not get a hold of your emotions. So let's talk about something. This is why in my podcast, I'm always talking about the things that people don't think about in leadership, whether it's the CEO Boss Chick Show, or whether I'm doing my other leadership classes in ministry. People wonder, okay, what does mental health have to do with the prophetic? What does, childhood trauma have to do with me writing and selling a book? Because your unresolved trauma, your unresolved pain, it is always going to follow you if you don't deal with it. And some people, You guys have unresolved pain from your childhood or unresolved pain from somewhere else in your life. Could be a relationship. It could be something from a past job that you were in, okay? And because I was never resolved, some of that is manifesting in your relationships, in your business. And we want to take care of that when we start to recognize it. Some of you may have been treated horribly. There are some people that was abused and in abusive relationships. Some people were abused in their childhood by their parents and they never had a voice. You were never able to speak up. You could never stand up for yourself. They put duct tape around your mouth and they shut you up your entire life. And now you are finally saying, I am woman, hear me roar. And now you're roaring over everybody. Over the people that don't deserve it. Now you're biting the people that don't deserve to be bit. Okay, you went from one extreme to the other. And so we have to come to a place of healing so we can bring that in to learn how to, again, put people in their place, stand up for yourself without tearing everybody down, without going off on everybody, without just completely losing all of your marbles every time. There's a way to get people straight without immediately going into fight mode. When I was working at a school and I was teaching entrepreneurship, there was this little boy and he had been going from home to home and he didn't live with his mother. I think his father was in jail and he was extremely violent to the point he even put scissors in my face one time. And the security guard, yes, there were multiple security guards at the school to control the kids, okay? And they had to hold him down to stop him from trying to stab me. And I just looked at him and all I could say was, why are you so angry? This was before I found out what was going on with him. I said, why is there so much anger inside of that little body? And every time you tried to criticize him, every critique, he took it as a personal attack and he went straight into fight mode. And some women, and it's okay to admit it, you are still like this even in adulthood. This is why we have to fix this. Because every single critique that comes your way, you immediately get defensive. You go into fight mode. And when you should be taking in potential customers or family members' criticisms, when you should be learning and allowing people to mentor you, to mold you, to just tell you the truth that, hey, I'm not trying to hurt you, I'm trying to help you really need to fix this. I love your idea, but if you fix this right here, if you would let people do that, you would be so great. But because there's so much unresolved pain and trauma that you have not dealt with, anything anybody tries to say to help you, you see it as hurt. And you are never going to be able to succeed in business or any form of leadership, baby, until you get that fixed. I understand that you're hurt. Nobody understands the pain, necessarily the depth of the level of pain that you went through. And I say I understand what you're going through from I understand that there's pain there. But only you know how deep that pain goes. If you know that you have some deep levels of pain, or maybe you didn't realize you did and you thought you got rid of all of it, now you're just realizing that more than likely you swept it under the carpet, let's deal with that so we don't let our past hurt, pain, and trauma stop us from being the boss chicks that God has called us to be. Because let me tell you something. Clients are going to trigger you. Business partners are going to trigger you. What's going to happen? I promise you, you are going to run into potential clients that is going to remind you from head to toe of your mother that abused you. And you're going to want to go off on her. You're going to be in straight defense mode. You are going to have clientele that is going to trigger things from your past. And you are going to be in defense mode. But the truth is, your client isn't your brother. And your client didn't do what your brother did to you, sweetie. Your business partner is not your mother. She may be, she may be a pickle, but she's not the woman that is the cause of all of this pain that you still have this unresolved. And you're taking out on your clients, on your business partners, which you wish you could have took out and said to your mother, your father, your whoever hurt you. And that needs to be dealt with ahead of time before you blow the biggest deal that you ever had. Remember, ladies, we represent the kingdom of God. We are women of God who are supposed to walk in what? Meekness. We're supposed to be humble women of God. We're supposed to be gentle, okay? And going off on people like that is not practicing the meekness that God told us to walk in, all right? And we also have to remember that not only are we representing the kingdom of God first, but we are representing our brand. And your attitude, your personality, it spreads and it speaks for you. Your personality and who you are as a person will spread and speak for you before it will far exceed you, okay? Your reputation will far exceed you. And that's something that we have to think about. There are people that have come to me for coaching. They came to me to book me for speaking and things of that nature just because of the way that my reputation exceeded me, apparently. There were people that have came up to me and in the store, my parents in the store, and they're like, oh, everybody in our organization knows who your daughter is, blah, 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 talks about her so highly. She even showed us her picture, da, 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 da. That's how we knew who you guys were and everything. Stuff like that. My mother would come home and say, I went there to go talk about my business, and these people keep sitting here talking to me about you and all the great things that you do, because I try very hard to put myself in a way and not faking it, but to really make sure my character in front of people and behind closed doors is a woman of God. It does reflect the heart and the mind of a godly leader, a godly entrepreneur. And just the way that good character can exceed you, bad character and a bad reputation is going to do the same thing. Be careful that you are not killing your business before it has a chance to start. Make sure that you are not killing the blessing that God has given you before it has a chance to really flourish, because you will regret it later. When the dust settles, when the fight is over, when the Facebook drama, TikTok drama is done, and you're sitting at home broke, you're sitting at home and you're looking at everything that God had for you, and nobody in this town wants to deal with you because of your attitude. When you're sitting at home alone looking at all of the dreams and you're crying because this is something that you're passionate about, when you're looking at the problems that you want to fix and the problems are still screaming at you for them to be fixed, for you to help these problems be buried and done with, and you can't do anything about it because you just shot yourself in the foot again. It's not going to be worth it. Yeah, you told the person off. Yeah, you got them right. But now you look crazy. You look immature. And now you're killing everything that God was trying to give you. I know you don't want to make yourself look like a punk, I guess to say, for words. But at the end of the day, the one who is going to be flourishing and sowing good seeds in their future is going to be you. At the end of the day, no matter how much you want to go off on that customer and you want to raise your voice a little bit more, whose money is being sold into your business? Them. They cry, they complain, they go off, and their money keeps paying your bills. Their views keep going your videos up. No matter how much that she complains, she keeps coming back to your YouTube channel. And she keeps watching your videos. And she keeps paying your bills and causing that check to come in. What you mad for, sweetie? What are you mad for? Get over it. You'll be okay. I promise you. All right, you guys, that is the end of today's video. I pray this was helpful for all beginner entrepreneurs, those who are already in business, but you're wondering what is wrong. I need to be making more money than this. Those of you that are wanting to come into business, please take these words to heart and remember them. Pray over this, reflect it, so you do not walk as anything less than the kingdom woman of God and the kingdom entrepreneur that you are called to. I love you guys. If you need coaching, you know to go to shantewinc.com. That's CHANTEWINC.com. You can contact me there for all of your coaching and your consulting needs. And remember, it's what? It's CEO Boss Chick mentality time, baby. Let's go. For booking, shopping, and exclusive content, visit shantewinc.com. Talk to you later, Boss Chicks.